My name's Tom Sless. I moved to Fort Worth from California recently, but I grew up down the shore in Jersey and a little bit in Baltimore as well. Went to school out there. Lived on both coasts. Really excited to be here in Texas now, though. You know, as a businessman, someone who's in touch with the way the industry works, I put myself in the Americana genre. I mean, that's what I was a producer and the person who actually mixed the record, Michael Reed. He was telling me a year or so ago when we were hanging out that he's been in the music industry for a long time and in country music. Americana was one of these words that 10 or 15 years ago, like, no one wanted to be associated with Americana because it would almost push you to the fringes, because 15 years ago in country music it was like all that mainstream bro country stuff and that's it. Now Americana as a genre, it feels to me as a newcomer, is such a vibrant genre to claim to be a part of. And there's things in there that are neo-traditionalist country, there's bluegrass elements, and then there's elements of artists like Bob Dylan or Bruce Springsteen. There's more of that Americana rock side where it's there's always this focus on the lyric and on the story, and whether it's a love story, whether it's a personal story, it's a sad story, or whether it's like an old folksy story of something that is got vibrant characters and anything like that. There's a lot of places to fit in within the genre, and so I've called myself Americana. I guess I'll call it like Americana rock to discern it from some of that more traditional bluegrass or country roots type music, which I'm still fond of. But I guess that's how I'd consider my music now. And just a cool thing about the Americana industry is there's this Americana Music Association that I found out about, and they put on an Americana Fest in Nashville that's been going on for years, and I'm really excited about going to that because it's cool to be part of a genre that feels big but is small enough to have kind of its own festival, its own conference. You can't really go to a pop conference. There are them, but they feel very big. This feels like another chance to connect with a close community. I was in LA working with Justin Glasgow on some new tracks. The two of us hunkered down in his studio in February out in Eagle Rock, kind of LA area, and put together 4 songs that I'm going to release this year. Really excited about it. They're all songs that I wrote during 2020, throughout the year, really. It's kind of, some of them were early in the year, some of them were much later, and actually, a handful of them went through transformations even since I moved to Texas in the 3 months or so before I got in the studio. And these 4 songs are really, for me, about not only a sonic jump forward, and that has to do with me having a better understanding of what I want to sound like, after having gone through the record, but it's not only that, it also, to me, brought me a chance to explore different topics with my lyrics, and really dive into the different sides of me, where there's, still that same side of me that is optimistic and pursues, my dreams and pursues what I believe in, and I'm encouraging in that sense to have that outlook, but also, looking at bigger picture type issues and looking at kind of my humorous side as well. I felt like these 4 songs, what I wanted out of them was to give a broader taste of who I am as an artist and as a person, in the hopes to then keep making great music here in Texas and do something later. But these 4 songs are going to start coming out pretty soon. They're going to come out as singles, and the first one doesn't have a date yet. It might by the time we finish with this. It's getting very close though. All 4 songs are just got to mastering today, and so it's going to be very soon. I think honestly what really shaped me, and I kind of pinpointed as around the time I started really starting to understand my identity more, was when I first started playing shows in high school with my guitar. When I was playing trumpet in high school, I was successful at it, but I would get really nervous in auditions. There was something in they're kind of a high pressure situation. It's like there's 2 people in the back of the room, they barely speak to you. They're writing notes the whole time as you're playing and before you're playing and after. But sometimes I would just freeze up and I wouldn't perform the way I wanted to. But when I started playing my own songs that I wrote on stages, with a band or even just by myself with, the guitar and singing, I've never felt that same nerves ever. And whether it was in front of 2 people again or, bigger crowds that I've played in front of, close to hundreds of people sometimes over the years for, random events. And I've never felt that same feeling. And I know what that feeling was. I mean, I don't know what was causing it, but I know what it felt like. And I still remember it. And I think that told me that, music was still inside me. Like there was something with the trumpet that maybe made me feel more nervous, but there was a way for me to express myself through music that felt really natural and comfortable. And I think that was really important. I think it would have been, I guess, easy. I did fall away from trumpet, and I think part of it was that pressure, but I'm really happy that I had decided to get a guitar, I had decided to start writing songs, and I kind of had a way to shift myself. And I think knowing that is what drew me back into music, because it definitely wasn't to go to auditions again. It was to get on a stage again. It was to write songs again. It was to be around people and use music as a conversation starter.
So we really liked the song Astronaut on the album. I think that was probably our favorite. So
great.
Can you tell us a little bit about writing that song and maybe, again, bringing that inspiration into it, or even the music video, how all of that went? And
absolutely. Yeah, so that's a song, one of the 2 songs on the record that my friend Clifton Jennings helped write. And, that song started for me in a place where I was, I had quit my job in public accounting. I'd gone to music school. For a 2-quarter period, graduated with a certificate, and then was on my own for about 3 months before picking up some more work. I was writing. I was trying to figure out what kind of work to pick up. I wasn't sure, with the music as the main focus, like what type of job should I support myself with. I didn't want to go back to the long hours that I was doing, so I was trying to find something else. And so I had this downtime. And during that period, I started writing this song because I had written some songs that were pretty hopeful. But I knew in my heart that there was still a piece of me that was not sure if this was the right move. I mean, it's like you're making a big jump here. You're throwing away, you're a bit of safe earnings and, like a career that friends have continued on, that mine, friends, and easily a good path. There's obviously it's a good path for many people. And I was grappling with, like, music feels right to me. I have to trust that. But obviously you feel a little bit of unsurety when things aren't totally moving, and with that song, I was really wondering about what my legacy would be. Like, what would the story be at the end? Is this a story of triumph, or is this a story of defeat? And I guess I was just exploring not understanding that fully and feeling as though the lyric in the song, an astronaut lost at sea, spoke to the idea of, I perceived myself as this astronaut, as someone who was capable of achieving great heights, and I felt that music was speaking to me in that sense, where music could take me there. But feeling totally out of my element, lost at sea, without a paddle, right? Or, and astronauts aren't even supposed to be in boats, so like, it's like I was simultaneously feeling as though I was in a very odd situation and very, not sure which direction I was going in, or if I was even going in a direction. And, kind of definitely grappling with the corporate life having been so recent and the music life being so recent. That transition was happening before my eyes. And that was kind of what I was exploring in that song. And it took on a life of its own. It became, a favorite of a lot of people from the record. And so we decided to do the music video for it. And my friend Clifton, who wrote the song, helped consult a little bit on the themes for that, as well as my friend Ron Maxim, who's another songwriter in California, who helped film the video and helped with kind of the rough storyboarding of it. And between the 3 of us and the ideas we bounced off of, we basically wanted to kind of capture the idea of that out-of-place astronaut. And so we went down to the beach in Orange County, actually. It was down at Seal Beach. And it was the only beach that was open the day we needed to go because California was closing down beaches. So we went and we got this little dinghy that my friend lent me, my friend Dave, and that was our little Lost at Sea. And it's just this astronaut not sure where to go, and eventually what we wanted to get to at the end was charging into the water, and that's where you gotta go, you gotta dive, you gotta go in. And the whole thing being done inside this astronaut suit was pretty funny. And it was a lot of fun to go swimming in. And then that was, well received. It was really exciting to be able to put something out like that during last year and having self-produced the whole thing. I mean, obviously with the help of Ron and Clifton and also my friend Davis, who lent the suit. So that was really useful, of course. And it got well received. American Songwriter did a little profile on it, and it was just good to do something like that. I'd never done a music video, before, and I'd posted little live videos or things like that, but never something like that. And those are the types of things that I was going for last year. It's like, if I can't go all in on the real plan because of the limitations of, where the world is at, then I at least want to get past certain things personally, and releasing my first music video, not worrying about whether it's going to be the biggest release in the world or if it's like the highest budget thing in the world. It's like, it was important for me to do it. Just do it as best you can. And that's really helped me feel more comfortable now as I'm working here with a kind of a creative director to make a new music video for one of the songs that's coming out soon. And just having a better understanding of it and being able to speak the language better about how they're made and how you should be thinking about them creatively. Like, it's cliche, but it's like you only learn by trying. And so I think the astronaut video was really important for that reason. And funny enough, with the themes of the song, it's kind of like, I don't know who I'm supposed to be, but I'm just gonna go in and figure it out, Everyone's path in life is gonna be entirely unique based on where they were raised, based on their family, based on their job, based on where they live. All of these factors make each of our experiences totally unique, and that can make it difficult to know where to go, and or at least not feel like you have to stay where you are. And I think one thing I hope my music can do, and I hope that I can do as an artist, is kind of open up people to the possibilities that may be in front of them. And the road less traveled being thinking about everything without excluding anything, and only just to ponder it. It's not about, I think you should drive full speed down that road, but you can't drive full speed down every road. I think what's important, and has been important for me, is considering all options fully and wholeheartedly, and not being dismissive of an idea that a friend had for you, or an idea that you came up with that people are judging, or maybe told a few people and they're making you feel like that's a stupid idea. It's like, it might be a stupid idea, but really embrace it and try to find out what you love about it and what you maybe don't love so much about it, and distill that and find that one road that you can go down that is unique to what motivates you and what is your driving force. And that's really what I hope my music can do, and I hope to do as an artist, is just inspire people to, I'm not trying to say everyone should quit their job and be a musician. More power to anyone who does that. But I do think if you feel stuck, explore, and explore with your full heart.